Hi folks, it's December and only a few weeks left until Christmas. While the cold weather is the perfect excuse to stay inside and play video games all day, it also means that everybody is sick and got the sniffles. Unfortunately, I wasn't spared, so I'm very sorry for my voice right now. Nonetheless, I hope you will bear with me because we got something very interesting in the studio today. This is the Acer Nitro 5. And this one is available in a wide range of configurations with your choice of either Intel or AMD CPUs and Nvidia's Ampere GPUs. The Nitro is unmistakably targeted towards the gaming crowd, and our unit comes with AMD's Ryzen 6800H, an RTX 3070 running at up to 150 watts, 16GB of RAM, a 1TB SSD and a 165Hz Full HD panel. With a price tag of €2,000 or $2,100, the Nitro is a powerful system, but also faces some very serious competition from the likes of the Legion 5 Pro or HP's Omen 16 lineup. That said, while the chassis might not scream high-end, this one right here rocks one of the fastest 3070 Ti's in our database. If you are however more interested in the lower end configs of the Nitro 5, we also tested the 3060 model already, and I will include our results when we get to the benchmarks. The Nitro's chassis is completely made from matte black plastic that naturally is slightly more prone to bends and shows a little bit more give than your typical all-metal laptops, like the Legion 5 Pro for example. This doesn't mean it feels cheap. Everything feels nice and solid, and only the lid could benefit from a bit more structural strength. The overall design language walks the thin line between gamer and subtle black performance notebook, with the accent advance in the back and some colored strips on the display lid. In terms of ports, you will hardly miss anything here. On the left you got a network check and a USB-A 3.2 Gen 1 and your audio combo port. On the right you can find two additional USB-A ports of the faster 3.2 Gen 2 variety. And located on the back we have the power connector, HDMI and a single USB 4 port with support for DisplayPort signals and power delivery. If you rather use a wireless connection, the Nitro will not leave you disappointed and delivers speedy up and downloads with relatively stable transfers. While it needs a little extra care to open up the mid-range gamer, Acer gives you many upgrade options. With 2 SODIMM slots and a second M.2, you can easily upgrade or repair your Nitro regarding memory and storage. Both the keyboard and the touchpad are average in a good way. While the keys offer a clear pressure point and quite a bit of travel, they could also be a little crisper. The layout is clean enough if a little cramped, since Acer also added a numpad within the 15-inch chassis. The touchpad is big enough for a gaming laptop and offered no reason to complain during our time with the Nitro 5. While the Nitro 5 is also available with a 165Hz QHD display, our unit comes with a Full HD panel, running at the same refresh rate. We tested both panels, so I can give you our results for both options. While the average brightness is comparable for both screens, the Full HD variant has the edge regarding brightness distribution and contrast. It is also a tad bit faster, but has to play second fiddle in terms of color gamut coverage. While the QHD panel covers both DCI-P3 and sRGB with almost 100% and Adobe RGB with around 85%, the Full HD screen is much more focused on gamers with 100% coverage of sRGB and around 70% for both DCI-P3 and Adobe RGB. Both screens are calibrated quite well from the factory, with an average delta E of around 3.2. And our manual calibration can improve things even further, bringing those numbers below 1. So while the Full HD screen is more than adequate for some semi-professional photo or video creating in sRGB, the QHD panel is venturing into almost professional territory here. While the Nitro can be specced with a lot of different CPU and GPU options, I will focus on the Ryzen 6800H from our review unit, and I will include the results from the i7 model since we tested that one a few weeks ago on the website as well. If you want to read up on both models, I have linked both reviews in the caption below. While the 6800H cannot keep up with Intel's mainstream equivalents, we saw it becoming more popular in 2022 since it just needs a lot less power than its Alder Lake competitors, freeing up resources for juiced up GPU power levels. Here at Notebook Check, we do not just compare Cinebench runs. Our CPU performance rating is a combined percentage of different CPU benchmarks like Geekbench, 7-Zip, Blender, and of course multiple loops of different versions of Cinebench. You can always find the detailed results of every benchmark in our written review, while I will focus on the combined scores in our videos. The Nitro 5 can deliver average results for the 6800H, while the i7-12700H in its Intel sibling has a 14% lead overall. If you need more CPU performance in a gaming laptop depends on your individual use, but the 8-core Ryzen CPU will hardly hold you back in the most common workflows. Just be aware that the Intel CPUs can do everything a little bit faster. System performance is pretty good as well. With that much CPU and GPU horsepower, the Nitro 5 would do pretty well as a mobile workstation for tasks beyond gaming, such as coding and photo or video editing. While most of the laptops we tested have more or less severe problems with latency, making it quite hard to find one suitable for real-time audio or video processing, the Nitro is no exception and even quite a bit worse than competing devices. Acer used an excellent drive in the 15-inch gamer. It delivers very speedy transfers but has to throttle when put under prolonged load due to thermal constraints. While the Nitro would theoretically be able to fit a 2.5-inch hard drive or SSD, it's missing the needed hardware, which is quite a shame since it would have been a great option to further expand storage for your game library. While the Nitro's chassis or the design in general might not be cutting edge, it's got it where it counts for a gaming laptop in form of a 150 watts RTX 3070 Ti. The generous power budget propels the second best Nvidia laptop GPU comfortably above the average for that particular chip in our database. In synthetics, it can easily beat the competition, and only the Legion 5 Pro can keep up as long as the Nitro remains in its default mode. Turbocharged with the performance mode, you got one of the fastest laptop 3070 Ti's on the market right now. This translates very well when actually playing games. The 15-inch gamer can easily deliver a fluid gaming experience, even getting close to the native refresh rate of the Full HD panel in some titles. Given the fast display, this one is very well suited for quick-paced first-person shooters. And losing your next Fortnite or Call of Duty match will likely not be the Nitro 5's fault. The Nitro also comes with a mux switch for a small FPS boost and improved latency. I did a Call of Duty test run and frame rates improved by around 10 FPS in performance mode. All that power comes at the cost of fan noise naturally. While the mid-range Acer can be quiet in idle or low-load scenarios, fan behavior is a little unpredictable, resulting in some random ramp-ups every now and then. Fan noise varies quite a bit between the chosen performance modes in CPU and GPU loads. We took some noise samples for you and included power levels and temperatures to give you an idea. In general, the Nitro is not exactly a quiet system, so be sure to have your headphones ready, especially if you want to unlock its full potential in performance mode. While the Nitro only sports a 57 Wh battery, it still manages to achieve good battery runtimes, probably aided by the Full HD screen and the efficient Ryzen CPU. While it cannot set itself apart from the competition, those utilize much larger batteries. With around 5 hours and 45 minutes in both our Wi-Fi and video playback tests, the mid-range Acer doesn't give us too much reason to complain. Alright good people, let's wrap this up. While the Nitro 5 might sport a design and materials that are more than adequate within the $1,000 to $1,500 price range, our review unit costs significantly more than that. It's not that it's a bad chassis or lacks in quality per se. But within the same price range, notebooks like the Legion 5 Pro offer metal builds and a much more premium feel. That said, you will get your money's worth when it comes to performance, and you will be hard pressed to find a faster 3070 Ti at the moment. That performance comes at the cost of noise, but if you are willing to work around that, Acer has a lot to offer and put together a well-rounded performance and feature package. Alright folks, that would be it for today. Please let us know if you would consider the Nitro 5 for its performance, or if things like look and feel are equally important to you as is performance. Thanks a ton for watching. My name is Alex, you have been incredible and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Take care.